What's up, everyone? All right, today is the 10th trading day of 2018, and I'm finishing the morning up $8,444.03. This is crazy. We are seeing incredible momentum. The January effect is in full force. We are seeing opportunities after opportunities. I mean, it is just incredible. On Friday, made $9,000. On Thursday, last Thursday, I made $8,000. So in the last 3 trading days, I've made over $25,000, which puts me up $55,000 on the month, $55,000 on the year. That's a great start. I am really happy about that. So you guys can see in the background here, this is my sort of portable trading station. Now, a lot of the stuff that you see here is because I'm trying to run the chat room. All those computers up there, those are for running the chat room. These ones here are just for my own trading, and I've got a third one right over here that I use for my own trading as well. So, you know, this is kind of a elaborate setup, but what I'm going to do later in the week is walk you guys through my traveling trading station, my portable trading station. So on Friday, I made my way down to Southern California from Sacramento, and I made this plan that after my last meeting on Friday, I would drive down here to Santa Barbara. And I didn't realize, number one, there'd be a lot of traffic in the Bay Area, so it ended up being a 7-hour drive. And I left at 5 p.m., which was after my last meeting. Now, keep in mind, that's 5 p.m. PST. Eastern, that's 8 p.m. So I basically left at 8 p.m. Eastern for a 7-hour car ride. And as you can imagine, I was pretty exhausted. Like 45 minutes into the drive, I started yawning, and I was thinking to myself, this is crazy. I don't know if I'm going to make it. But I made it down here. Santa Barbara is beautiful. It's warm. And this is going to be my home for the next 4 or 5 days. And then I'm going to head back to the East Coast this weekend. So I'll give you guys a little bit of a tour of the Santa Barbara area and some of these intro videos and midday recaps so you guys can get a sense of what it's like to be here, trade here, hang out here. It's warm, it's beautiful, it's definitely a nice relief from the cold weather we're having back east. All right, so before we get into a midday market recap, let's roll an intro. So first day of trading here from Santa Barbara, and it's definitely this morning, you know, not my home setup, not what I'm used to. I got everything, my whole trading station set up last night before, you know, so I knew it would be ready to go. But then, of course, 5:30 a.m. comes very early, and when I sat down to get everything connected, you know, I couldn't connect to the internet. And then finally I got connected to hotel Wi-Fi, and it was less than 1 megabit per second. It was like 300, you know, whatever it is, kilobits per second. It was extremely slow. And so I have no idea why. I mean, you know, I'm on the same internet now that's back up to 20 megabits per second. So, you know, for whatever reason, it just was slow this morning, and it was at 5:30. So, I mean, I don't know. It's not like there would have been a lot of people on the network, but you know, it was kind of a little bit of a slow start. So on my first couple trades, I was able to see the charts and I could see the level 2, but there was definitely lag between my order entry and actually seeing that the order was getting filled. So, you know, I hate trading like that because it increases the risk, because, you know, if I'm in a trade and all of a sudden it starts dropping, I might not be able to see it very well. My hotkeys for bailing out may not execute because they're a 5-cent offset. But by the time I'm seeing the quote, it might already be 5 cents lower. So I have to keep pressing orders. And, you know, fortunately, that didn't happen to be a problem this morning. Even though I was working with sort of a slower connection, I went easy on my first trade, which was on Archon. So, you know, obviously today's a great day, up $8,444.03. Fantastic trading. You know, not just fantastic trading on my part, just fantastic opportunities. We're in a a market right now where we're seeing these huge opportunities every single day. So Archon news was out pre-market. You can see pre-market it spiked up to a high of $3. So let's pull this back and look at the 1 minute chart. So on this one, let's see, let's slide this over just a little bit and zoom it in. So on this one, I was watching it pre-market. I had two that I was watching pre-market. I was watching IZEA and Archon. IZEA ended up not working out. I'll show you that one in a second. I didn't take any trades on it because it never gave me a trigger. It never gave me an entry opportunity. But Archon popped up pre-market, hit a high of 296, and then it pulled back, consolidation. And so as soon as the bell rang, this was the one that I was watching. The news out this morning was related to blockchain, so cryptocurrency sympathy. And you can see I jumped in. I tried to get in at 78. I didn't get filled. I then got in at 282. So I pressed it once, no fill, cancel the order, press the hotkey a second time, got in at 282. 2,500 shares. I went a little easier on the size, selling it at 311 for 750 bucks. So, you know, first trade, 2,500 shares, 30 cents, really, you know, solid, nice, easy trade. So once I saw that this thing was really strong, it pulled back on this second candle that went red. It pulled back to 272. As it curled back up on that one, I jumped in with 7,500 shares at 295 and 299 and sold it for 20 cents profit at 219 and 218. Boom, 1,500 bucks. And just like that, I'm up $2,250 on the day, 2 minutes into the day, right? So, you know, those were my first two trades. Now on Archon, I let it pull back a little bit, and I got back in at 322, selling at 328. This was a small trade, not a big winner, not big size. I let it pull back a little bit. It ended up squeezing all the way up to 550. I mean, it really took off without me. So what I saw, you can see here on this consolidation, I was watching it for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, but I was a little hesitant because it did pull back quite a bit right here. So it pulled back and then it started to open up. As you can see, it opens up, it squeezes up to 320, and right in this sort of range between $3 and 320, it was a little bit choppy. And when I say choppy, I mean it was hitting a high, big upper wick to 322, dropping down to 294. So it's sort of bouncing around in this area for about 7 or 8 minutes. And I said, it's worth keeping on watch to see if it breaks out of this range. Right now it's choppy. I would watch it over 225 maybe, or over 230. It ends up breaking that level, 330, squeezing up to 350, 357, 378, and that does a little 1 minute micro pullback. So at this point I was watching the 1 minute micro pullback, but here was my problem. I'm waiting for the first candle to make a new high. So this candle closed with a high of 373, and this candle opened at 373. So it was one of those times where you didn't really the candle didn't really break the new high. It sort of closed and then reopened at the high. So it was kind of a funny little break there, even though it was a nice 1 minute micro pullback. It just, for me, I felt like it wasn't a clean setup. So anyways, I hesitated on that one. It ends up squeezing all the way up to 409. Hits 409, and so my next entry on this, let's see, sorry, this was ELTK. So I'll show you that one in a second. So my next entry on Archon was at 416. Oh, actually, I guess I have a couple trades in this area. A trade at 275, 278, a couple scalp trades. Those were okay, but the really good trade was right here at 415 and 416. So I bought right here on this pullback. So let's just mark the high here. All right, so the high was 423. So I bought right there, and boom, it squeezed right up to $5. So I'm selling into the strength at 35, 40, and at high, just under the high at 494.
So that was, really pretty solid there. All right, so I think I lost my connection, but I should be reconnected now. So, anyways, on that trade right there, getting back in at 416, selling through the highs, I was up almost $1 per share on my last shares that I was holding. So that was really solid, and that put me total up $6,191 on Archon. So really solid, good trading on that one. That was a fun stock to trade this morning. It just ended up being really clean. All right, so the couple of trades I took in between those setups on Archon were on LBIX, which hit our scanners. So it hits the scanner. I jumped in at, let's see, 209. I was long at 209, sold half at 220, and sold the rest break even. You can see here on this chart, it did not hold up well at all. It tapped a high of 230, and then it dropped back down. Let's see. I'm going to have to reconnect my Facebook feed. I'll just do that, the Facebook Live later. So anyways, let me just scroll up here. So LBIX, in at 209, 210, sold at 220 and 209. So small win on that one. And then ELTK, this one, I think I was a little too aggressive on it. I thought it would be a little stronger than it was. I got in it at the $0.50 of 550, and it ended up tapping a high of 595. I sold at 594 and 587. It just didn't really hold up. It didn't hold that level very well. So I ended up, selling some and then stopping out as it came back down. It wasn't very clean. Or actually, I sold all of it at 94 and 87. And yeah, actually no, the last fill was at 57 and 40. So it was just kind of a choppy one. It wasn't clean. It didn't hold up very well. So a little disappointing on that, but I think it was worth a stab given the momentum we were seeing on Archon, and given the fact that ELTK had a nice daily chart. The way it was kind of curling up here, over $6, you can see it had room all the way back up to 9. And it is a former runner. It's a stock that's had a history of making these types of big moves. So anyways, today was one of those days where I traded 3 stocks. I'm green on all 3. I took about 7 trades, and I was green on all 7 trades. My average winners today were 21 cents per share. So, it just goes to show that you don't need to hit 50 cent, 60 cent, 70 cent winners in order to be profitable. If you keep capturing, 10 cents here, 20 cents here, and then you do have a couple of trades that end up going up 30, 40 cents, it brings up your average, and, you end up doing really well. So, definitely feeling good about today's trading, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Hopefully we'll continue to see really good momentum and be able to capitalize on these opportunities. One of the things that I say to myself is that right now is an opportunity, and I want to really make the most of it, because I know that there will be a period, and it may be a month from now, it may be 2 months from now, where things get slow, and I'll be lucky to be able to make $500 a day. The reality is, being profitable, the only difference between 500 a day and 5,000 a day ultimately is your share size. So if I can consistently make 5,000 a day or 500 a day, I should be able to make 5,000. But there will be a point at some point in the market here where things slow down, and it will be difficult to even be green. Even making $500 will be hard. And I'll have to remember that all of these big winners are, going to have to sort of tide me over during that slow phase. So, I don't want to have the expectation that I'm going to average $5,000 a day for the entire year. If I did that, I would be, tripling my gains from 2017, and I don't think that's at all a realistic expectation. All right, so just FYI on that, and just a reminder to try to make the most of these opportunities. Right now, we're enjoying the January effect. The market is really strong, so let's try to capitalize on it, make as much as we can, and know that it'll tide us over when things get a little slower. All right, so anyways, that's it for me today. I hope you guys all did well. You're in the green between Archon, ELTK, and LBIX. You guys should be. So we'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning, and hopefully we'll see some more really great opportunities. All right, I'll see you guys then.
If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.